Hey, all you Warhammer players, and welcome to the Yob. Today, it's me and Joey, and today we are talking about kind of random stuff. Honestly, we kind of threw this together last second. I have been extremely busy doing a move in with my girlfriend, who has been very amicable, giving me as much space as I need here. And in the process of cleaning out and selling, trying to get my house sold here in the next, hopefully, few weeks. We'll see how it goes. But that's kind of just been what's going on with me. What about you, Joey? What's been going on, buddy?
Yeah, not too much. Just trying to get the last couple weeks of school done. This is, of this half semester. This is week 7 out of 8 for me. So getting close to it, and then just trying to prepare for Storm, which is like uncomfortably around the corner. So
it is. It's so close. It's a month away. Now, hobby's been going interesting for me. I really haven't had a chance to hobby. However, it is my birthday tomorrow, so I'm very excited. And I received a gift. And I have in my hot little hands a small Harder and Steenbeck black case with an infinity in it, and I'm so excited to get started with this thing. Oh my god, it's so nice.
Very, very nice. They're very nice.
So my question for you. So I've been using an airbrush, one could say crudely, for the better part of 2.5 years now. Just kind of, high pressure, blowing out paint, not giving a rootin' tootin' thing, care about it. Just having fun, just trying to make cool effects on stuff without going too nuts. If there is a small technique that you would recommend for somebody trying to take it to the next level with an airbrush, what would you say it is?
Man, so I enjoy airbrushing. I am by no means an airbrush master. There are tons of things that people do that I do not understand, and that's great. But I think one of the biggest things for me when I first started airbrushing, and then when I the first, I guess, hump that I kind of got over, is learning not just that you need to thin the paint, because obviously people talk about it all the time. We're miniature painters and we're going to thin paint, or we're going to judge the people that don't.
Of course.
Not just that you need to thin it, but there's a different way that paint gets thinned for an airbrush. And then that even most of the time, there's a handful of exceptions, but most even marketed airbrush paint still needs to be thinned. And then once you do that, so it's learning that little kind of chemistry assignment that you're going to work with, because I've noticed, at least personally, that every brand is going to thin with different ratios. And so, and eventually you'll just get used to that. And if I'm using Pro-Acryl, then it needs to, look or feel like this. And if I'm using whatever,
there's a certain formula with Pro-Acryl.
There's a certain formula with each one. Metallics are completely different. And then, metallics and an airbrush are quite strange. I do like it. It's just a very different beast. And
it comes out the best, but I only use crappy airbrush.
That's fair. And then it's just so once you figure out really that the right formula for thinning the paints the way that you want them to look and the way you want them to come out, then it's getting used to the lower PSIs, not just pushing and throwing paint on the models. If I'm, and I think I probably still run higher than, I definitely run higher than a lot of the people who are extremely talented. But if I'm trying to do detail work, I'm pushing 12 to 15 PSI probably.
Yeah, I haven't pushed 12 to 15 PSI since the beginning, when I couldn't figure out how to thin paints and would clog my brush every 12 seconds with one of those crappy little battery powered things. And then for the longest time, I blew 50.
Jesus.
It worked great.
You've
and then I made an adjustment. I'm back. I've been at 30 for a long time.
You waste so much paint.
Yeah, I do.
Lord. Yeah. I prime at 20.
Oh, that's weak shit.
Yeah, I don't like if I'm above.
I will say
there are certain times, there are certain paints that I will push above 20, but normally not.
I will say there is best way to put it. I find rattle can primer to be too good not to use. I used to prime with my airbrush, but I just get the rattle cans for priming specifically, mostly because the Color Forge stuff is just so good. And I believe they make the primer for Pro Acryl as well.
I believe that is true. Yes.
So I started using their stuff, and man, I don't want to go back. Also, the primer from GW is really good.
Some of the GW ones are good. Some of them are not.
The black one is fine. The black one is fine.
Chaos Black is fine. And the not Gray Seer, but the other one, the contrast, the white that they specifically made for contrast, that one's pretty good. Wraithbone.
Oh, okay.
It's technically not white.
Gotcha.
I guess it's
Wraithbone is nice.
That one's great.
Yeah.
So I have, I think, 2 of the Color Forge cans. I just have not used them yet.
Oh, dude.
I mean, the weather's been shitty, so I haven't really had the chance, but
perfect.
Yeah, it was
a little windy.
It was pretty nice today. Could have gotten something done. Anyway.
I cannot wait to start hobbying again. I finally have a desk again, so
it just
anyhow, what about you? Orange, you glad you started painting an army yet?
Yeah. I am. Yeah, so we talked about it before. Yeah, I had only done the Crew Talks, and I've never worked with orange as a base color before, so that's been a fun and interesting learning experience. But I got the basic colors and highlights, basically all of the airbrush work I got done on a unit of crisis suits and a commander, which I did show you, so you've seen that.
Yes.
And that was really, it came out a lot better than I honestly expected it to. It's a lot more yellow than I planned, but I'm not upset about it.
No, you shouldn't be, because the bright spots just pop off the model. And I'm going to be honest, dude, when I look and see what you're doing with this orange, I'm mostly frustrated because it looks better than most of my 20,000 points of orange Marines that I have painstakingly worked on over the last 3 years.
That's just airbrush highlighting tricks. It's not anything special.
Yeah. It looks really good. I like the little bits, the little boils on the skin of like the dinosaur from from the Crew Talks that you posted. Like that looks so good. And then this commander here that you put into the chat is gorgeous.
I'm very happy with it.
I'm really excited to see what you do with the feet, because they're just real pink right
they're
now.
Not gonna be.
Otherwise, yeah. Yeah, it does look great though. I mean, I'm excited that it leans more yellow, because I'm the orange guy here. Me.
That's fair.
Me.
I understand.
But
yeah,
I'm excited. Your army looks awesome. I can't wait to see
the Cruder orange as fuck though.
Yeah, that's true. They do look good too. But and this is coming from a place of honesty, not a place of envy or anger. The hyper yellow that you pushed up on those suits, dude, that looks absolutely
amazing. I'm really, really happy with it. I was, like I said, it's a lot more of a yellow tone than I was planning on. I was intending on going for orange, and then I started spraying and it just looked nice, and I kept going, and I was like, oh wow, this actually looks really good. And so now it's kind of yellow, but that's okay. It's also still orange. So because all of the yellow is sprayed only from it was sprayed top down, and so you look at like the picture of the commander when you're looking at his like where his head is, and then that upper section that would be if it were a human, I guess it would be like a chin guard. That's where all the yellow is, and then the bottom section where the actual like Tau Empire symbol is, that's orange. And if you like in person, it's much easier to see. But it's because like I said, I sprayed the yellow top down, so there is orange in significant portions of the model, and the yellow is just what you see when you look at the table.
Yeah, dude, it's fire. And if you guys want to see this, what's your Instagram,
My Instagram,
Joey?
Is Beddingfield Painting. And you can go there.
Look at his stuff.
I think at the moment, I don't think I've posted the Crisis suits yet. I should. I have not, but I did post the Salamander for the Lone Spear, so that is up there.
And it does, those little bumps on its skin are just out of control.
They're really cool.
Well done.
The color combination for that was really interesting, so that was cool.
Any other cool stuff hobby wise that you've been working on?
No, no, I have not. Not really. I've just been not even working as much as I should on that stuff, but I've gotten some paint down on the Tau, and then that's pretty much it. I haven't really done much. I haven't touched any like MCP painting or anything, so we'll get into it, but it's okay.
All right. Well, all that said, let's hop into our core segment today, which we are jumping into. I'm just going to talk about my GT that I went to a couple weeks ago. It was super fun. I didn't do anything crazy or out of control there, but I had a really good time. So first and foremost, this event is the Team USA 40K GT. It was a not a charity event. They marketed it as a charity event for whatever reason. But it's actually a fundraiser for the people on Team USA so that they can go to Poland and compete in Worlds, which is really exciting. And so Ben Jurek put it on. He is one of the members of Team USA in accordance with Green Banner. And Green Banner, if you have never been to a Green Banner event, you should go. And just so that and so that you're aware of who Green Banner is, they're the people who put on Cali Cup. Notably the most beloved tournament for players, period, end of story, on the west side of the United States. I think there's still a few tickets left, so you guys should sign up for it if you can. But it takes place in like November. Anyway, Cali Cup is supposed to be dope. But really, what makes it amazing, number one, is Steven. Steven runs the place, is running it along with Kicker. If you don't know who Kicker is, I don't know where you've been, under which rock you've been, but he is one of the best event planners in the industry. And then Steven is this big, tall dude. Like, he just has San Diego written all over him. But he came from where I grew up in the NorCal area. We both had gray beards. We high-fived a lot. It was super fun. And then, like, they play music when you're playing. All the tables, not a single table was touching another table. I didn't bump into one person the entire time I was there. It was amazing. Granted, there was only like 45 of us, but like it was dope and everybody loved it. It was on a golf course out in Vegas, on like the outskirts of Vegas. So you and your friends could get a fairly well-priced B&B, and then there's food and shopping everywhere around you that isn't expensive. And you pop on the freeway for like 3 minutes to get into the event. Like, it was so easy and chill, and it was on a golf course. So like the vibes, truly immaculate.
Unreal.
Anyway, it was awesome. Highly recommend you guys check out those Green Banner events. Western side of the United States, everywhere from California, from Colorado up to Washington. Now, let's talk about round one. I'll kind of run through these. It's not too crazy. I went into Arthur 2. If you don't know who Arthur 2 is, he is a coach for Team USA 40K. And he is a very good player. He went 4-2 overall, and I was his first victim. He was playing Renegade Raiders, and the only time I've seen Renegade Raiders played with AC/DC bricks. And he had 3 of them.
Yeah.
And he ran one into my deployment zone on turn 1 because I'm an idiot. And I made a further poor choice because I was trying to score secondary rather than just deal with the immediate problem by not oathing that. And then it just sat on my deployment zone for an extra turn, longer than it should have, and it was just painful. I got absolutely mollywopped. It was like a 60-point dicking. And yeah, it was fun though. Like, Arthur's a super good dude, very patient, played just extremely crisp the entire time. Joey, do you remember the last time you had a game like that where you just went into somebody so objectively better than you at the game that it was like, oh my god?
I mean, okay, do I remember the time specifically?
Yeah, can you recall like the last time you ran into someone like that who just like beat you so badly that there was no coming back from it?
I mean, like, that has happened. Like, that does happen. And it has definitely happened to me. I mean, I guess my big one, I think, was, or at least I think the one that sticks out to me the most was my round 2 at LVO this year.
Who was it that you played in round 2?
Give me a second and I can tell you. Because BCP has a history.
What were they playing? Do you remember?
It was AdMech.
Oh.
It was Skitarii Hunter cohort. And I was handed the worst point deficit that I have ever received in a competitive game of Warhammer ever.
How much? How much was it?
I think I scored. I was in the 30s.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst feeling because you're like, okay, I got 10 points for paint.
Yeah.
I got 5 points of primary every turn.
It was wild. And I mean, I was playing Drukhari, and that was it. His list specifically is like, I don't remember. We talked about it for a while, but it's like 250 something strength 4 AP one shots. And
oh my god.
Against, there are definitely tons of armies out there that's not super good into. That's unbelievable into elves. So, like, it good. Just, I did everything I could. I killed a lot. It didn't.
Yeah, your army is good at killing a lot of stuff.
Did not matter. It didn't. It definitely added to it that, like, he is also a Drukhari player. And so.
Yeah. Oh, so he knew your army as well as you did.
And I'm like never going to be the person to, like, set up and try and make a gotcha or trick somebody into doing something. Like, that's not a thing that's going to happen. But there is a certain level of, like, people play differently when they're not familiar with your army. And that was very much not it. He knew everything. He knew what the threat was. He knew everything that everything could do. And there was just, and I mean, clearly the score shows it, but I was well and truly just 100% outplayed. And
it's so wild.
It was pretty wild, and I'm gonna find it, but I do know, man, he did end up doing, like, it did make me feel better because he did end up doing very well.
It's always really fun when it's a good humbling reminder sometimes that no matter how many games you play, sometimes you just make a couple mistakes early and somebody knows how to capitalize on it, right?
Yeah. That's not him.
Well, you find his name. I'll move on
talking, and I'm going to find him.
Good. All right. So my next round was into Nat Hill, which she is one of the better painters in the hobby in North America, honestly. And she plays Chaos Knights, and she had a mix of demons in there. I beat Nat pretty good because Nat was very concerned about my Space Marines. She doesn't play them very often, which every time I run into somebody who doesn't play Ultramarines very often, I'm like, where do you play games? But
it is particularly funny coming from
yeah.
Chaos Knights, which is one of the armies that really shouldn't be worried about you.
No, I told her too. I'm like, nah, all you have to do is run at me. Like, if you threat overload me, I will lose. She would not do it. She played cagey. She took a really heavy shot of whiskey right before we started playing. So Nat, Drew, and I, we were all at the event. We were at an Airbnb, so like we were all having a good time. But yeah, she took a heavy swig of whiskey, and then we played through, and I was able to get a pretty convincing win in the end. And I told her, I'm like, all you had to do is run at me. Like I told her the night before, told her the day of, but she just wouldn't do it. But we had a really good game overall. Did you find your opponent's name, Joey?
It was Marshall. Hold on, I'm gonna get his thing. Marshall Arthurs, and our score was 87-34.
Oh my god, that's a whipping.
He did proceed to go 5-1.
Oh well, I can't feel bad about that.
He ended 7.
Actually, you went 4-2.
So. He ended 71st. Which was quite good.
Awesome.
And even then, his loss, let me see where we're at here. Yeah, his loss was a 70-point loss. So by absolutely no means was it bad. So, like looking at it and going like, okay, well, like, yeah, I got my ass kicked, but at least I can look at things and go, well, very clearly a fantastic player. And it wasn't a bad experience. It wasn't a bad game. He was a great guy. We still had a good time. It was just one of those things that like he had just too much stuff for me to deal with.
Just gotcha. So. Sometimes you just lose, in the pairing.
Yeah.
It's okay. Speaking of awesome players though, Nat. Have you played with Nat before?
I have not. I do know her. I have been to a handful of events that she has been to. We talk and hang out. She's played my co-captain, but I have not played her.
Okay, yeah, Nat's great. If any one of you out there ever gets the chance to play with the wonderful human with the pink undercut, enjoy that game. She's wonderful. Speaking of wonderful people, though, moving into round 3 was my next loss into Chuck Pickert, another guy.
Absolutely.
And he's playing Blood Angels. He's part of the Hobby Goblin Boys, and which means he's not a bad player at all. Also, his buddy was with him. So his buddy who just got out of the Navy, and Chuck's in the Navy, and Chuck was like, is just about to get out himself. He's like 30 days out, and he's just figuring some stuff out. And we had a really fun game. We were super cagey. We were both like talking like down on like our own list, saying, "Oh my god, you're going to crush me!" Like both of us were in that mindset. We played a very close game in the end. He beat me by 6. It was an 88-82 matchup, so I couldn't feel bad about that at all. He literally just outdrew me on secondaries in the as we continued through the match. I did really well on scoring everything. I just drew bad cards, and I couldn't feel bad about it.
Definitely not a thing to feel bad about. Yeah, I love Chuck. Chuck is one of my favorite humans. He is a phenomenal player, and you will never hear him say it. He is like absolutely 100% unironically the most what's the word? It's gone. I lost it. Humble. He's just the most humble, truly genuine person that I've ever met, and he will not. I don't even think I've heard him say that he's a good player. Like he won't do it, and it's crazy because he's a phenomenal player. And
yeah, I think he's pretty good.
That's just it. So.
Yeah, he was playing Jack Harpster's list from LVO pretty much, maybe some minor changes. It was a really fun list to go into. And those 3 mans of Sangard are just like so brutal to deal with. And it's Chuck. Number 1, he's very tall, he's in great shape, and he wears socks up to his knees of varying colors.
Always. 100% of the time.
Yeah. And no shoes. I believe he wears flip-flops.
When he's playing, he takes them off.
Yep.
But yes, he does wear flip-flops when he's like around.
Yeah. So if you ever get the chance or recognize that you're going to go into Chuck Pickard, enjoy your game, guys. Wonderful, wonderful
it will be
dude.
a fantastic game.
Yep. And then we go into the next day. Come in the morning, and I fight Blood Angels one more time, Mr. Mike LeBrow. This was the one game of the weekend I didn't have the most fun. Mostly, Mike is just one of those players who like hates his dice and like gets angry, like really, really angry about everything. Which, look, I've been that guy too. But he was like that with multiple players throughout the weekend. And he's a guy who's been playing since first edition. Overall, he's a nice dude. He just doesn't know what to do with himself in games sometimes. And he beats me. He was playing like the most Unga Bunga list I've ever seen. It was like 5 units, and they were just all maximum bricks of dudes with feel no pains and invulns. So, you've played against me before, Joey, when I'm not exactly having the most fun with my dice. So help remind me and to be like 100% okay with people when they are not having the best time.
And that's it. Like, it's sometimes you're gonna like that's gonna happen. Your dice are gonna be bad. Sometimes they're gonna be crazy good. Unfortunately, it seems that those extremes happen at the same time, where your opponent's dice are going to be extremely good and your dice are going to be awful. I don't know, man. What do you, I guess, do you want me to talk about what to do when your opponent's dice are bad, or what?
Yeah. What do you, so you do a phenomenal job of maintaining like a really good, like keel and making sure that your opponent doesn't like fall off the cliff. When they get down on themselves or they get mad about things, because obviously like we've had that experience. So you tell me when we played before and I'm not having a great time, like how you go about it.
Which it's not necessary. I don't know, and I could be wrong, but I don't perceive on my end that it's much different than I normally play, which is just trying to make sure that both people are having a good time. That is a thing that I genuinely care about all the time. But just like when that starts, I guess when that does start to happen, when I see that things aren't going the way that they need to, then I do probably lean into that a little bit more. And it really does depend on the environment, especially like in a friendly game, that 100%, like I'm going to take my foot off the gas and we're just going to have a good time. In a competitive game, which, you know, was your experience, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to take my foot off the gas, but I will lighten it as much as I can. And like, I guess it being the mood, I'll lighten the mood as much as I can. I'll joke around. I'll talk shit about my dice and how whatever extreme that they are. Sometimes, because sometimes it does. I've obviously been on the receiving end of it, and sometimes it is just nice to have the acknowledgement of your opponent going, hey, yeah, dude, my dice are going pretty crazy right now. And, you know, I'm sorry. Like that happened. And I do. Like, I will apologize. I'm like, hey, man, I'm sorry that happens. And I've had it before. I did it with you. And, like, I wasn't 100% sure on it because we weren't that close yet. But like, cause like, I don't want it to sound like it's an arrogant or asshole thing, but like cause I'm joking, but it's like, you roll really, really bad. And I'm like, hey man, I guess, do you want me to roll your dice too? Like, and you know, you were like, no, it's fine. I'm like, and then we like did another roll and it was equally bad. And then I was like, well, all right, man, do you want to roll my dice? Like, what the fuck?
Nope. Like, nope. I want to live in my bubble of anger sometimes. It's therapeutic for me.
And I think that that's just the important, like, that's part of the acknowledgement of like, hey, this isn't mathematically correct what's happening right now. And I recognize that. And I want you to know that I'm comfortable in the fact that I am not cheating and I'm willing to do something different if that's what you want to do and if that's what will help you feel better. And if that's not what you need, then okay, that's fine. Then we'll just keep playing and I'll just continue to joke about it and we'll try and have a good time. And that's it. I just try and keep it as light as I can and try to make sure that people are still having a good time. Because I have definitely been there. I have been on the poor dice roll side of things. And I don't like to complain about dice rolls because it is the game that we choose to play.
Yep.
And I don't like to... I don't like to just say that if I lose, I don't like to say that I lost because my dice were bad. Sometimes that is true. Sometimes that is the reason.
Sometimes it is
the reason.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can play
absolutely.
tactically, strategically, a fantastic game, and it doesn't matter because your dice suck. Right. I don't like to say it because it feels, on my end, for me personally, it feels like an excuse. I know that that's not technically true because it is possible. But sometimes that's just the way it is.
I will say, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Since we have played the last couple times we played, it has actually helped me considerably as a player because, like, you've mentioned that mindset, and it's like really, really helped me. Like, I've had, full disclosure, like, I've had people complain about playing against me over the last couple years because I would get so down on, like, everything happening, regardless of if it was neutral, good or bad. And, like, that's a thing. Like, it happens to most people. And it really helps to play against somebody who does the same thing because it helps you recognize that, like, oh, I can do better.
Right.
So there's that. Anyhow, that was my round 4. It was a loss, and I'm in the 1-3 bracket, having a great time. Here's the thing. I'm having a wonderful time. At no point am I, like, sad about any of these games because the event was so chill that it didn't matter. I was just enjoying myself. Which then takes me into round 5. Round 5 was into a man by the name of Bill Barnes. Bill Barnes is a super cool dude. Older fella, has been playing the game for a very long time. He was playing as Imperial Knights, and we had a spectacular game, but you send holes into me, and if you don't send them all, I'm going to just pick you off. And I was able to do that with Bill, slowly but surely, tabled him by like 4. He had a really awesome weekend, though. So he was laid off like earlier that week, shows up in Vegas, meets his old boss. Old boss offers him a new job, and then he won like $1,200 on the slots.
Okay.
So he was just drinking beers, having a great time. We were just talking shit and having a great time playing the game. And it was a great reminder to me to just like kick back and just have fun, just like appreciate what's going on around you. I mean, I didn't, hit the slots for $1,200, sure, but I won a wealth of memories. Is what I'll say.
Yeah, kick back and enjoy it, man. Just do the thing,
Yeah, and that's what we did. And then, which this is really funny. So his buddy that he came out with is by the name of Ryan. Is like wants to drop. He's had such a rough weekend. And then he was like, dude, just like, it's fine. Because like Bill wants to play his 6th game. Bill's riding on cloud 9. And then Ryan's like, I want to drop. And then he's like, dude, just don't drop. You find your opponent. If you just give up, when you see who it is, or depending on who it is, just give up. And then like Ryan just is frustrated, whatever. Well, anyway, we do pairings. I'm supposed to go into one guy, but there was a pairing where it was 2 people that had already played, because a bunch of people at this point are dropped. It's round 6 on a 6, 2-day tournament on Sunday evening. Not everybody wanted to stick around. And then they were like, you know what? Here, let's switch to you 2. And it was me and Ryan who ended up getting paired. And Ryan was just over it. We played a game. He was playing Yanari. He loved the index, even in the state it was at before the codex, which was like shoestring budget, right? But But now that he's playing the Codex, he's like, it just changed everything, and I hate everything about it. And he's like these beautifully painted elves, and it just made me sad.
Fundamentally changed the army in ways I think people that don't play elves or don't play against elves commonly are not going to understand, because they seem minor, but the way that it affects the actual gameplay of the army is enormous.
Absolutely. And you know, he enjoyed the movement, but like he wasn't a super fan of the tricky nature of it all. And he just wasn't like engaging and activating all of those different things that you can do. He played with me through the whole game. I spent most of my time doing my best to try to help pick him up, but as a player, I don't let off the gas.
True.
And he asked me, he's like, do not go easy on me. Just go. Okay. He had triple lords, and I killed all three of them on a bring it down turn. Like, it was just one of those kind of games. And he we ended up having an okay time. We talked it out, had some fun. And I hope, Ryan, if you ever listen to this, you give yourself some grace on those elves. Just try different stuff, man. You'll have fun, I promise.
There is fun.
And so I ended my event 3-3.
Yeah. 3-3. Yeah, 3-3 is good. You know, 3-3 is what.
Yeah, 3-3. It never feels good to be 3-3 on the 1-3 at the 1-3 bracket, but sure. Take it.
But you could have.
Every opponent that I beat had a higher elo than me, though, so that
you could good, also,
which isn't hard.
You could be. I don't know. Like, you could have been the 1-3 drop bracket, and you didn't. So there's a level, I think, that is still important in those games that get played, because the people that are playing them are still there for a reason.
Yeah. And of the of all the best parts of the event, really, overall, was just the fact I met so many people. Like, I met one of like the founders of Dice Hammer, which was super cool. I just talked with so many people who I'd never gotten the chance to play with, and a ton of them were from SoCal. A bunch of the XPZ guys, and that is a really cool group.
Yeah,
of dudes.
They're super,
like 200
super
of them.
Super nice group of guys.
Yep. But yeah, again, guys, go to the Green Banner events. Everybody went home with some amount of prizing. We got to do this goofy little games where we threw ping pong balls at cups when like you won stuff for doing that. I went home with some basing pigments, which was kind of cool. I got stopped in getting on the plane, thinking they thought it was spices, which was, I thought, very funny. But yeah, that was that. Go to Green Banner events. Go to tournaments in Vegas. Like, it's dope. It's not just all overpriced casinos. There's lots of places to go out there to play. You just kind of have to look for the events.
Yeah, there's overpriced casinos and some sick ass Warhammer events. So
yes, and that's the best.
Do what you will, you know.
Sick ass Warhammer events. I just looked at my elo and it's so bad.
Where
they haven't updated
it
yet. It's on StatCheck.
Okay.
So if you guys aren't aware of StatCheck, there's a global elo that you can check, and it goes up and down based on your tournament performance for GTs over that are 5 rounds with 25 or more people. And I've had very middling results, except for one tournament where I got the wooden spoon, effectively, which was a 6-round event on the west side called Slaneshmas, which was one of my favorite events ever outside of the Green Banner event. And I got one win that whole weekend, and that tanked me to the bottom of the list. I'm at like 27,000 global elo. We'll see what happens after this, but woof. Let's check. Let's find.
I have no idea. I've honestly never.
You're probably doing okay.
I have looked at StatCheck quite a bit, but I have never looked at this elo. I don't even know if
Bettingfield with 1D, right?
I don't know if I'm going to be on there because there's some weird stuff going on with my.
I found you. Okay. You are 2,815 in the list, which means you're like 2814 overall. So that's pretty good, man.
What?
It's not bad at
that's
all.
That's my number, like my player number.
Yeah, you're like on the list of the 27,000 names. You're 2,800.
Okay, gotcha.
So
what's the?
It means you. I guess
what's
suck.
my elo number then?
It's gonna be probably in the 1500s. Let me.
Because that's off to the right.
Get down to that range.
I'm on my phone, so it's weird.
Yeah. Oh yeah, on the phone it's impossible unless you open it in another browser. But you're looking around 1550.
Okay. Hey,
and I'm like 14.
That's fine. I'll take it, dude. Whatever.
Yeah, it just means like if they start you at 1500 and then
I see.
Up or down.
Very cool.
So cool.
Oh, I wonder if that's been updated yet. Can you? Because again, I'm on my phone, so I can't search. Look up a person for me.
Yeah. Who do you want to see?
We need to look up Colton Havens. Colton. And Havens is Havens.
He's coming in around 1,700.
That's right. That's my boy.
His elo is probably going to be about 1,600. Yeah, just shy around 15, like 80 something.
So Colton is a member of my team, and he just this past weekend, not 2 days ago, won a GT with his Deathwatch.
That's so awesome. Oh, that's right. Everybody was so stoked in the channel.
Everybody was pretty stoked about it. If you want to hear his list read out loud, then you can go to Tactical Tortoise, as he does during the week after GTs, and he will read his list because it won a GT. But it is talked about, and it's pretty cool. So super proud of him. That was his.
Yeah, that's super sick.
Proud of him. That was his first win for a GT. So very, very cool.
Ooh. Speaking of other GT winners, big shout out to Isaac Terada, who this past weekend just won another GT himself. So well done, buddy. Isaac was with us in Vegas as well. He and I had the same record at the end, which was funny. He was also had flu symptoms. Ooh. So we'll count that as it is.
I think we count that as a win.
And then other winners. Yeah, it's a win. And then other winners, we had Andrew Johnson, of course, get best overall because he went 4-2 and had really good paint. And then Natalie won best painted because Andrew took best overall, I think. So like everybody won a little something, which is awesome.
Out there getting after it.
Yes. But anyway, that is the past. Let's look to the future as we prepare for the storm. So, insert sound effects as the storm is coming up. Buddy, what do you want to play at the storm? What do you think you can actually get on the table for the storm?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, no. You better give them towel,
realistically,
buddy.
So there's a guy here, Tyler, that regulars the shop and also works there. That he's got, I think he said like 20,000 points of towel.
Are they painted though?
And he's like lets people borrow stuff all the time. So like it is entirely possible if I want to that I could send him the auxiliary detachment list that I'm looking at and going, hey, do you have this? And just borrowing his models if I want to play that. I could play Drukhari, which is never a bad choice really for me. Or I could play Demons.
Oh, Demons are pretty good right now, aren't they?
Yes. On top of being good, they're just cool, man. They're just cool. And I love them so much.
I mean,
I
they
love
are
them so
cool.
much, and I have not played them very much this edition because they made me sad. But they have changes, and they have very important changes, and they have very good changes. And there are some changes that make me.
You could play Be'lakor on steroids.
There are some changes that make me sad. Keeper secrets don't have feel no pain anymore. Makes me sad. But I will gladly take the like 2 nerfs that I have personally found, which is Shalaxi and a regular Keeper secrets, for the
host.
For the just insane amount of buffs. It's so good. And there's a lot of. I have 4 demon lists on my 40K app that I have built in the last 2 days because I can't stop.
Do you want to be one of many demon players? Because you know that's going to probably be the most popular thing at the Storm.
I don't think it'll be the most popular.
It'll be massively popular. It's so good right now, and everybody has a Be'lakor.
Sure. Everyone does have a Be'lakor.
It's going to be Be'lakor and 15 of those idiots with guns that are, for whatever reason, get their actual army rule as well.
Yeah.
They're Space Marines.
Havocs.
The Havocs.
But you're forgetting that they also get Deep Strike.
Okay.
Which makes them unbelievably better.
Here's the deep striking las cannons that get an extra army rule.
No, they get their army rule.
Oh, my bad.
Relax.
Yeah, you get to play 2 army rules. You get to bring up to 1,000 points CSM. Okay, cool, great.
And then all of your CSM gets.
You don't get to bring Vindicators, right?
All of your CSM gets Deep Strike.
Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, you should play demons and be one of many. There's going to be so many. Many.
There are no vehicles that you can bring. It is all infantry. You can't even bring obliterators.
That's a positive.
But you can bring.
I'll take that as
possessed.
Ooh, fascinating.
And for a very silly 15 points, you can give them Scout 9.
That's
so
rude.
You can have Scout 9 possessed. So that's
terrifying. Luckily, that footprint is the size of, I don't know, Shaq's shoe, but
But I mean, I don't know if you experienced Wolf Jail, but you can experience Possessed Jail.
I have experienced jails. I was very lucky that I didn't have to go into Wolf Jail really at any given point during 10th edition. So lucky for me. Also just means that I wasn't at the top table or had the misfortune of getting a first round matchup. But still, it's not the same. They have a 5-up invuln, right?
The possessed? I believe that is true.
Or do they even have an invuln?
Ooh, yeah, they have a 5-up. They're T6 3 wounds with a 5-up invuln. Okay.
Yeah, they're not T5 4-up invuln.
No, they're T6.
I mean, come on. We know that that's a fake number. It doesn't matter.
Hey, I have run enough. No, that's true. I played my first game with auxiliary detachment and crew toxer toughness 6, and I watched it not matter.
Yeah, I've run enough Gravis Marines this edition to know that T6 is a joke.
T6,
whatever. The only time T6 has been good is against Vanguard. Tyranid.
T6 5-up armor does not feel great. But
no, it doesn't.
When that T6 5-up armor has 5 wounds, it feels pretty good. It
does.
So
can be a lot.
But that's pretty much it.
So yeah, I think you should play Drukhari because you'll get best Drukhari.
I could definitely go for that. My Drukhari list is Reaper's Wager, so that's super fun.
Oh, do that. Bring Drukhari. It's so much more
super fun. I think this list is really interesting. It's pretty different from what I normally play with Drukhari. And then I guess between that, so it's like I could play that. I could play Auxiliary Detachment Tau, which I will need a fair amount of practice into just to learn how to set up all that geometry correctly. And then
Yeah.
I have 3 demon lists built, which is a scintillating legion, which is we've got Tzeentch, and then there's the 1 Shadow Legion list, which I only have 10 Havocs and not 15 because I'm not a degenerate.
Well, that's up
well,
to
listen,
debate.
Instead of a 3rd unit of Havocs, I chose to bring a Bloodthirster for fun.
Well, the Uppy Downy Bloodthirster is a real strat like that people
he doesn't
doing.
even like, you can do that one, but also in that detachment, Khorne units have advance and charge just passively. So like, advance and charge Bloodthirster seems pretty sick.
I feel like you just bring 3 Bloodthirsters.
There's 300 points. There's 305 points. It's a lot.
Okay, so you bring 3 Bloodthirsters,
Be'lakor.
1 character Bloodthirster.
Oh, you can't bring the
Be'lakor,
character Bloodthirster,
and then
not Shadow Legion.
Oh, okay. Okay, my bad. All right, so Be'lakor plus 3 Bloodthirsters plus, I don't know, some Flamers.
Well, then why are you playing Shadow? I mean, I guess you're playing Shadow Legion for advance and charge. Sure.
Yeah. Oh, sure. A few Havocs.
Oh, why not? But then
that's really only it's only like 1,200 points so far, right? How much do Havocs cost? Like 100, 120?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Super expensive
really
unit there. Yeah, you bring 2 groups of Havocs and you're at 1,400. Oh no. All right, and then pop in bring in one of those. Can you bring in that obnoxious Alpha Legion squad that like stops people from doing stratagems?
What are you talking about? That's not a thing.
Who's that? There's a unit that stops people from actually using stratagems. It's the kill team for CSM.
Oh, that's the Night Lord's kill team.
That's who it is. Shame.
Yeah, well, it's pretty fair. And then my other list is the Index detachment, but that's Monster Mash.
Who doesn't love
Monster Mash? Love it. It's Be'lakor, Kairos, awesome. A Lord of Change, Skarbrand, a Demon Prince with wings, and then stuff to score points.
Do you have enough Tzeentch stuff to do the Tzeentch shooty army?
Yes, but I don't have it painted.
Oh no!
Because that list,
I think Dina might end up running that, and I hope
list
they
I have
do.
for that is Be'lakor, Demon Prince with wings with the sword, Kairos, a Lord of Change with the Feel No Pain aura, 2 Soul Grinders, a unit of 6 Flamers, and 3 units of blues.
Do it. If what's left that isn't painted?
That is out of that.
Yeah.
2 Soul Grinders. Actually, you know what?
Ugh.
Here's what's painted. Be'lakor, Lord of Change, Kairos.
Well, I don't think you can do that. And you don't have enough time.
Well, listen. I've done crazier things.
You can paint 30 blues. You can do 30 blues in about 20 minutes, honestly.
20 minutes, yeah. I can do the unit of 6 Flamers. I can do that shit in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they're so easy. Simple with their.
The Soul Grinder is going to fuck me, though. That thing's rough.
Just don't run the Soul Grinders. Run anything else.
They're good. They're so good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. All right, these are all fun lists. I vote.
Like, in reality, I probably will not play the Shadow Legion because I actually don't have a single CSM unit. I would have to borrow everything, and I don't know if anybody has that painted. So,
well, the people who have them are likely playing them.
Yeah.
Probably. Also, yeah, but yeah, I think you should play Drukhari. There's like legit like one guy I've played a couple times now, and he's one of the only Drukhari players at these events out here.
Well, and like, I don't know. I guess to toot, like, I'll toot my own horn just for a second because I will bring it up because it is a reason that I am thinking about it. I am second in the region with Drukhari right now. And that is with 3 out of my 4 events. So,
buddy, Just
I
play
actually just need to
Drukhari.
play them again so that I can take it, because the first place is only 17 points ahead of me and has all 4 of their events. So I just have to show up. I just sign up with Drukhari and I'll take it. But
yeah, the only other Drukhari player I can think of, his name is Jaden, and we played 2 years ago.
Hey, that's a long time.
Yeah, he's a very cool dude. We talk whenever we see each other. Hell yeah.
So
okay.
it is a very, very real consideration. Also, the only thing that I need to paint is the troop unit. And they're like,
yeah, do it, man.
6 out of the 12. So half of that unit is already technically battle ready. Not done, but they're battle ready. So I just have to do, I have 6 more.
Do it.
But all of my Drukhari stuff's painted.
Yeah, do it. Go 4-1. Take that number 1 spot. Make like Ludicrous. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
What? Let's see.
Do you even get that reference?
Yeah, I'm not that young. People, why do people think I'm so young?
I'm just making sure.
I'm not that young. Yeah, like it is.
Oh, that song's stuck in my head now.
We haven't moved it over to the Discord channel that we added you into. We have not moved our stuff over. We haven't moved everything over there yet, but in our original team Discord, we have a separate channel that was our 2025 goals for 40K. So that everybody could say what they wanted to do this year, and we could like update it as people did things and celebrate together and whatnot. So 2 of mine, I didn't lay out a goal for an army because I wasn't sure what army I was going to play competitively. Which also doesn't matter because you only need 4 events. So I could play 3 different armies and get 4 events with all 3 of them. It doesn't matter. But the things that I put up were to win a GT. Again, I would like to win a GT this year, and then be in the top 20 in the US and the top 50 global. And I will say, it is very ambitious.
It is.
It is very ambitious.
The top 50 global
top 50 global is very ambitious. It's just doing the math. It is possible. I know what I need to do to make it happen, but it is very ambitious. I would still be happy with like top 100. I'd be really happy with top 100, to be honest. Like, that's crazy. But
yeah, I mean, that would be awesome regardless. Yeah.
For Drukhari, at the moment in the US, I'm number 7.
Okay.
So if I wanted,
that's pretty good.
Like, that's, like I said, that's 3 out of my 4 events, and they're not all wins. So like those points could go up.
Man, I need to play a criminally underplayed faction so I could be like top 5 in the US.
Hey man, they're not like that. They're getting more play, but not a ton. They are still underplayed, but
it's time to bust out the Imperial agents, I think.
But yeah,
it was hard to say.
Yeah, you're gonna need to apologize for that one later, but that's okay.
You want to run a bunch of dumb cops?
So I don't know. Like top, it is again to keep the ambition alive. Top 5 global for Drukhari is possible.
Do it.
So
make Scary proud, man.
I mean, that's just like a passive goal. I don't. Don't know. You just want
exactly. Senpai to see
I don't know
you,
what
right?
He pays attention to, but that's okay. I do talk to him at every event that I see him at. I love that man. He's so nice. I didn't actually, that did happen. I got a bunch of people because this was my first LVO. So this year I bought some objective markers and I got people to sign them. And it was like specifically I went and found people that were influential to me and me playing 40K competitively to sign different objective markers. And I wanted to get him to sign one, but I had my flight was earlier and he was in the top 8, so he was still playing. And so I had to leave, didn't get the chance to get him to sign an objective marker. So I messaged him on Instagram, and he responded, and we've talked before, so like that's him responding wasn't like the craziest thing in the world. But I ended up mailing him a objective marker, and he signed it and he mailed it back to me, and I got that back like last week. So I do have that now, which is awesome. So very, very happy about that.
I will say this as just a general note, you know, of how people say don't meet your heroes, right? In 40K, meet your 40K heroes. Almost all of them are absolutely fucking awesome.
And so, that's the best thing about it. The thing that I've noticed, like, if the person that you think is super cool in 40K, if they're not a super cool person, you will have heard about it. Like, that's it. Bad news travels fast. And if somebody's a shithead, you'll hear about it. And if you don't hear about it, then they're probably cool and you should go talk to them.
Yep. Most people in this hobby are dope. All right. There are so many fun Space Marine lists that I want to play. There was a War Games live stream this weekend that I really enjoyed. The winner of that tournament ran this list that was hysterical. Ultramarines list. It has like 3 Executioners. I believe a Redemptor Dreadnought, Guilliman, Calgar, some Scouts, and like that's it. It's like 7 units or something. And he just destroyed with it like every round. And I'm like, oh my god, I could probably run that if I put my mind to it. Because I'd have to paint up 2 Executioners.
In them, which I think you can get 2 tanks ready in a month.
Easy.
Like, we're not talking,
but I don't know if I want to do that.
You don't like it, but we're not talking about done. We're talking about battle ready.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to, they could be done.
So a parking lord list would be fun. I'm all about kind of memey lists. I have a hard time with that fewer resources though, so we'll see. And then I for a long time, and this is very memey, but like if you run into the right list, you just kind of walk over it, quite literally, with a all dreadnought list. You bring 9 dreadnoughts. So 3 Redemptors, 3 Brutalis, 3 Ballistus Dreadnoughts, and then just like a smattering of whatever else. Some maybe you run Iron Storm and you play and you run around with Tech Marines, or you play Gladius because Gladius is good.
Have you considered playing Space Wolves and playing 15 Dreadnoughts?
I have considered that. I do not own the 6 Wolfen Dreads to do that with, sadly. Nor do I want to purchase some dreadnoughts that are very quickly going to be legended. Fair.
I also don't want to do things like that just for the meme, where it's like triple Lord of Skulls is hilarious, and it seems like so much fun. But I'm not going to go buy 3 Lord of Skulls for a meme.
You know who did that though? Wyatt.
That I believe.
He's got 3. He's like, I need to paint him.
And you should probably paint him.
He's just one of those guys who loves to get as much ridiculous stuff as he can. Like he wants a Stormhawk.
Well, he's also a 30K player, so you got to give him a certain amount of grace for that. But
now, if we were to paint like we're painting this picture of Wyatt, if you did not know how old Wyatt was based on this description, how old do you think Wyatt is? Would you think Wyatt is?
Actively describing Wyatt as a 16-year-old that happens to have money.
He's a 16-year-old
with money. Like,
because when I hear all of these descriptors, I hear like 82-year-old man, like Grognard first edition, you know, and Wyatt's all of 20 years old. And it's just funny. I love that kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dreadnoughts is fun. I probably won't run 9 Dreadnoughts, but it would be fun. I've done it before, and I could probably go 3 and 3, 4 and 4 and 2 with it. The last list, or not quite that one yet. There's always Gladius. Like Gladius is still really good. Ultramarines Gladius is awesome. Hell, like Dark Angels Gladius is awesome. Gladius is just a great detachment, and I've had this weird kind of turnaround on Gladius. Like for the longest time, I was so bored of it. I didn't want to play it anymore. And I tried literally every other detachment but Gladius. But I've played so much of it recently that it's all kind of just come back, and I'm back in love with Gladius as a detachment. I just think it's 40k. To me, it's 40k in its most like solid form of 40k.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Just playing some 40k.
But anyway. Yeah. I just need to take the Desolation Marines out. I could probably run a pretty solid list. And then the last one is that list that we've discussed before, where it's mostly a Gladius list, where you have like a couple of Vindicators, a Reaper, and then like all your basic fixins. But instead of running, heavier infantry or anything of the sort, you jam pack with Outriders instead of like 3 groups of Outriders with ATVs, or you separate the ATVs and you just have like 6 action monkeys that run around the board. And I'm considering that still because I think it sounds interesting, and I should be able to get that finished. It's literally 1 model I have to finish building.
Right, but then
1 more.
Oh, it's only 1 more to paint. Okay, I didn't realize you had that many bikes painted already.
I have 12 Outriders painted currently. The list from LVO that we were taking a look at, I don't have that list.
Unfortunate.
It's a Company of Hunters list with 3 groups of 3 Outriders, and then just like good stuff. And then you run 2 characters, Azrael and Samael, and that it gives you a +1 to wound stratagem for bikes. So you're not super hurting on +1 to wound without the double oath. But those bikes probably just get melted.
But they all have like plasma or whatever.
No, you run them as Outriders because of their charge bonus, where you get the additional strength.
So they're not running
strength and damage. No, not the list that I've built. Black Knights and Ravenwing bikes they cost a lot. And I don't have them built. I put in an order for some like 6 weeks ago.
Good luck.
Still not here. So that's not happening. And yeah, that's the list I've been kind of leaning towards. I just have to put it on the table a few times to like know whether I want to run that. But yeah, those are all the lists that I'm considering. I'll probably just wind up playing some format of Gladius Marines, but that's life as a Marine player. You're just a boring guy.
You chose this. So
I did. I love playing Marines. They just get to do so many fun things with them.
Yeah.
Everything. Just not as good as everyone else. Sometimes better, however.
You'll do a lot. You'll do a lot of everything. Whether or not it's good is kind of up in the air, but you will do it.
Yeah. I have this like weird desire to put Brutalis on the table, though, so we'll see. They're not good. Man, are they fun to play with.
They're really cool. They
sure do look cool with their big pinchy hands.
My goodness. Are they
They're bad.
Not good.
They're just twin linked kings. That's all they are.
They're just walking around. Just Zoidberging around the table.
Pinching your cheeks like an aggressive ant.
That's all they got, man.
All right. Last topic of the day. You are going to convince me is Emperor's Children not the hype, because I'm gonna bring it up first because I'm not educated on this topic really at all, outside of the few battle reports that I've seen and whatnot. Now, from my understanding, there is all but one of the Emperor's Children detachments are okay.
Yeah,
like playable.
I think that's true.
And they offer you, as a large in part, the ability to go into a vehicle. That vehicle then drives, and then you get to come out of the vehicle and charge.
It's
a
only
lot.
one.
Is this
one
correct?
detachment does that.
One detachment does that, but anybody in a detachment can do that. Is that correct?
Oh, a charge after getting out of a vehicle that has moved? That is correct.
Yeah. Okay, so that based on that alone, I'm going to say that Emperor's Children is very good. The data sheets offer some very interesting play. You have some very hard to kill demon princes, but more than that, you have melee that slaps so unbelievably hard that as long as melee technicians can get their armies painted, ready to go, that this army is going to really start to become oppressive as those armies actually get battle ready.
Okay.
Your thoughts?
So what I'm hearing is that you would put Emperor's Children as an S tier option.
I believe that they're an A tier.
An A tier option. Are you thinking like top of A, like one of the, like if we?
Yeah, I think they stand next to Marines.
If we said that, like, because I'm of the opinion that S tier should be a lot smaller than people think it is. If you're saying it's the best, it should be pretty small. So if we included S tier was just, we'll say, the top 3 armies, you think that they're like somewhere in the 5 to 10 range?
I think they're just underneath S tier, in my opinion. Just based on the few simple rules that they have available, along with the few crazy characters, the shooting that is there. Like, you just need somebody who knows how to move around with them, and they are going to become a problem.
I do. First off, I'm going to preface this with, we're probably going to need another episode for this one to really dive. But
yeah, I'll actually.
But we can tease a little bit, which seems to be the way for Emperor's Children anyway, so that's fine.
Little scintillating tease.
I will agree with you that I would put them in A tier. I would probably put them more in the middle to lower end of it, because they are still just power armor. And this game is incredibly good at killing power
armor. You're right. As a power armor player,
just incredibly good at killing it.
I'll do a test.
Most of my, and yes, the detachments are, for the most part, all good. I mean, there's 6 of them, so like expecting 6 good ones is pretty crazy. But there are definitely 4 that are very strong, and there are 5 that are still good. My issues with the army are admittedly nitpicky, because they are my favorite of the Chaos Legions, and they aren't.
So you have a bias.
I do have a bias, and they are not what I wanted them to be. However, they do have some various, like, they do have significant and good and important rules. But I think there's a lot missing. And I think that some of the things, while the detachments are good, there are a couple of the data sheets that are not what they should be or could be. So I think they are very good. I do not think that they're going to be oppressive. I think they are good.
Okay. We will have to keep an eye out. They're going live
this weekend.
This weekend? Okay. And you can expect that their win rate is going to probably be in the tank, because it's going to be the people who rush them out.
Yeah, it's going to be the people playing.
Or there just won't be very many.
The first week of data is going to be people playing 2 army boxes. So
yeah, exactly. And then of course you're going to have people like John Lennon running around, probably win whatever GT he's at with it, because he's been repping those things so hard.
But he's going to do that anyway. It's just going to happen to be Emperor's Children.
But yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, he's going to bring a wacky Stormlands list and just wreck with it. So you can't count his games for the most part because John Lennon is
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, I'm kind of like
talent.
I'm only going to look at like human-based data, so I don't know that I can look at John very much.
Yeah, you have to take out like the upper 95th percentile of ELO players robots. To get a good.
It's not fair.
No, it's not.
Yeah, there's just some stuff that's weird, man. There's just some stuff that feels weird.
Okay. Well,
I will.
What's cool is next weekend next week we will have some data, so we can start talking.
We can talk to, and I mean I have the codex, so that's fine, and we can talk about it. But, I will say my biggest gripe, and this is where we can close it, and people can flame me however aggressively they choose to. But I think, in my opinion, if any of the Chaos Demon Primarchs were going to be an auto include in their army, it should be Fulgrim. From a lore standpoint, right? Is that if any army should include their father, then it should be them. He is the only Demon Primarch that is not an auto include.
Yeah, because his data sheet is terrible.
Legitimately, after changes, and admittedly the others have not always been auto includes, but I think they are now. Mortarion is now after some fixes, and then Magnus has always been, and Angron has pretty much always been. I am of the opinion that if you don't play Angron, then you shouldn't play World Leaders. You should just play a different melee army.
Yeah, just go play Blood Angels, man.
Fulgrim sucks. Fulgrim is
he's bad.
Fulgrim is actively very bad.
He makes Lionel Johnson look pretty good.
Listen, I've played.
That's saying something.
Played in 10th edition. I have played Lionel Johnson at a GT, and I would do that again before Fulgrim.
Yeah. Ooh, maybe I could do with Lionel Johnson.
You can. It's pretty funny. He can do some cute stuff.
I'd have to paint him, and I want to take
because good God, Fulgrim is so bad, and it makes me unbelievably upset.
His face is so big, and his stats are so small.
He's so bad.
He is neither. He's all show or no grower, man.
That's it. The model, gorgeous.
Yo,
the things that people have done with that model, disgusting and amazing.
Incredible.
But I don't realistically, where he's at right now with his rules and his points on release, I would not put him on the table in a seriously competitive game.
No, you put that. He's very much a for the love of the faction piece right now, and that's okay.
It's not okay.
It'll be fine,
but it is where we are. So
he might get buffs because they want people to play him. But you know what? What's his name didn't get buffs either. Who's that idiot who does the demon engines?
Vastor? That's not true.
Vastor still sucks.
What's funny is that he did get buffs, and he is currently the best version of himself he has ever been. That just happens to still be unplayable.
Yep, still unplayable. And it's fine because Vastor is this minor character that they introduce in a random book at the end of the edition, not a demon Primarch.
I hate it. It makes me... I can go into so much detail about things I dislike about Fulgrim. We can do that next time. He's awful. He might be the worst unit in the game.
Oh, dude. You know what? Next week, we will jump into Emperor's Children, their stats for the opening weekend, as well as how bad Fulgrim is, and then I'll actually read some of the models and stuff so that I can have a conversation with you about it.
I'm so ready to talk about how bad Fulgrim is. Goodness.
Dude,
it's upsetting. He's literally my favorite character. It's awful.
Yeah. Rip. Okay, all that being said, guys, we will catch you next week when we talk about Emperor's Children in greater detail and just how shitty Fulgrim is. In the meantime, if you're looking and itching for content, you can always find me all day 40K on TikTok. You can also catch me over on the Best in Tabletop Network doing the Monday night, the 40K Theater, which is us playing the tabletop RPG. So you come hang out with Colin and the Best in Tabletop boys so that you can enjoy some of that. And then, of course, you can always find us here on the Yop. Joey, is there anything you'd like to shout out, buddy?
No, I don't think so. I just gotta, spend the next week stewing over Emperor's Children, and then also, stewing over Fulgrim, because Emperor's Children are fine. But I get to stew over that for the next week before we talk about it some more, and then I really got to figure out what I'm going to play for Storm. So,
yeah. But in the meantime, go to Joey's Instagram and tell him to post more pictures of his beautiful yellowy, orangey, pinky models that he has been working on. Otherwise, guys, have a great one. We'll see you the next time.